where I think what's such a challenge is that culturally, we are conditioned to find fulfillment and happiness mainly through getting what we want. I don't know if you ever thought about it this way, but I really watch myself, and this is really, for me, the core of it again and again. I want my career to go this way, I want my marriage to go this way, or I want my relationship with my boyfriend and girlfriend to go this way. I want my health to hold steady. I don't want to live in a world that is full of climate change. You know, I don't want to live in a world that has so much violence. But the thing is, sometimes in life you do get what you want. And yoga isn't saying you're not going to want to go after what you want. That's natural. It's human. The problem is that for most of us, it's the only way we know how to feel fulfilled. That our job is going this way, again, our partnership, our children, our feeling of success. And that's actually what the Vedas explained, or you know, what these traditions explain, is this world, this reality we live in, is not designed to hold steady. This world is infused with impermanence. Everything changes. And I have found in my life, you have no idea how long something will last or when something will change. You just don't know. You know, some things in life we do experience that seem to hold steady for a long period of time, but then there's other things in life where we don't. And it's somewhat of a mystery why we all experience this in different ways. You know, some people experience impermanence in a really extreme way. Other people, it seems to be less extreme. That's all a mystery. You know, it's hard to answer why. So yoga is asking us to contemplate this again and again and again. You know, I certainly don't want to live in this world where there's so much violence, but yet I live in this world where there's so much violence. And there's really not, as an individual, I can figure out what I can do, you know, through my own personal action. But beyond that, there's so much that's out of my control. So, you know, yoga is asking us, and this just comes back to what we already spoke to, is that we can experience more of a lasting fulfillment or a lasting mental freedom by connecting to consciousness within, having this experience within, and really asking ourselves to look at our belief system and be open to changing those beliefs. Because if I am absolutely determined, you know, I'm only going to be happy if this thing comes to fruition in my life. Well, I've lived long enough that some of the things I was absolutely sure would come to fruition in my life, they have not come to fruition, and they may never come to fruition. And through my contemplation, that's maybe not necessarily a terrible thing. But it took me a long time to accept that, because I was brought up in this culture where if my life doesn't work out the way I want, it's my fault. If my life doesn't go the way everybody else's life goes, it's my fault, or it's God's fault, or, you know, there's so much self-condemnation, at least that I've had. And I think I see some nods, you know, I'm not the only one that struggles with that. Where, according to yoga, the nature of life is not so much that you're guaranteed to get what you want. You probably will get some things you want, and you probably will get some things you don't want. And it's not that we don't want to go after what we want, because that is fulfilling. So it's not saying that it isn't fulfilling. It's saying that if it's the only fulfillment you know, many people will find life is going to fall short. Your ability to really feel fulfilled and to grow inside of yourself will become limited if you're solely focused on gaining that fulfillment from external things. And that the pain and the challenge that we experience, you know, those can be catalysts. You see this in yoga philosophy. I'm going to give you some references. This is spoken to a lot in Buddhist philosophy. And for me, even though I've been around these concepts for decades, I still have to, we underestimate what it takes to really change our worldview, what it takes to really change our belief system so that we can embrace a more expanded worldview that ultimately is meant to lead us to more joy and more freedom.